Yeah, and not just on a normal bread. Okay. On shea butter bread. It was very nice, my father. I can tell you now.
Shea butter
I'm thinking
bread.
of
Let's
selling
get
it
into
at the next cookout. So.
All right. It's a grand. All right. Welcome to another exciting episode of Howlers Corner. This is a virtual corner, last ploma corner. Nabangani bethu. Usenya Rayman. Unening rehearse akuko. How? At least you're giving me credit, yabo. But yeah, guys, it's a corner la sihlala khona, educator na khona sivula nomqondo. Platform yabantu aba open-minded more than anything. And then niyazi as always ngihlala nginilethela or sinilethela izinto ezithe ukuniphaphamisha kancane, yabo. Igama lami uThulane, like asibangazi ngobhumba. Before ngikhuluma kakhulu, bengicela the rest of my panel bazi-introduce. Ngoba hey angeke ngicede.
Hi guys, Howlers
Okay, it's Mamello, also known as the Ghetto Superstar. Our guest will introduce himself as we go along.
Yeah, I would love for him to introduce himself because hey, research and like I find a lot of interesting things. Sure, bro.
But just before we go along, I would like to welcome you to the Howlers Corner. It's a great pleasure to have you here. And it's also what we themed as the Father's Day edition of the Howlers Corner. So you can introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, sanibonani, igama Bongani Luvalo, ngihlala eHighland eKwaThema.
Uhlala eHighland eKwaThema vele?
Sure, born and bred, one Kale Street.
Namanje uhlala khona?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, why don't you believe me, Vet?
You're phela eHighland idume ngezinye izinto.
But Highland Extension, Main Road next to the tennis court. While people are dreaming of having a tennis court, I'm cross tennis, just ngal.
Government
No,
children of God's favorite children. No, nice to meet you.
Thank you, Fit.
I mean, it's like this is not the first time we meet, but I doubt we should remember the first time we met. Yes, it's a Carnival City. You were hosting an event. Something so Soweto and everyone. Bengisebenza no konjubani umntana kaSheli Mhlophe.
Ntombi, yes.
Yeah, that's when we met. But that's why I need to know ukhumbule because
mfethu ngihlangene lapha.
So, angitshela ngalo event le. Keep her.
Love Potion. Look, man.
Love Potion.
It's called Love Potion. Others would say it's potion, like whether in chemistry or it's good with Lisana.
But that's before, because now you're going to start it right at the top. So I'd like for us just to give the people a bit of insight onto Bongani, into how Cool Dads starts, how you got into that whole space of fatherhood and promoting fatherhood. I think that's
what inspired
I think that's where we need to start.
Nobody thinking, I think we need to understand what happened. No, but basically,
a preview. Just
as I said, I was born and bred at Thema, Highland. Kuliso Koko, Uma, and aunts. I've been surrounded by women all my life. Probably that's why I'm hoping to be a polygamist one day.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I've been failing on a number of things. I'll tell you later on what is the other failure. No, there's no hurry in South Africa. They say that's why we still have load shedding today. 18 months later, when we're told this opella. So I've been surrounded by women. I don't know my father. I didn't know my father until I think I first spoke to him when I was in grade 5, 6, somewhere there, over the phone.
Him at all, like
I knew he existed somewhere. Was he black, white, tall, short, fat, slender? I had no flipping idea. I knew his sister. I knew his brother. He's late now. Then the first time I laid my eyes on him, I think I should have been 21. How old was I? How old was I in 2010? Yeah, I met him in 2011, somewhere there. Yeah, somewhere there between 2010 and 2011. I should have been 21, 22. Still young, no, I'm still young. 34 years of age. So that's the first time I met him. So I didn't know of him until those odd 20 plus years. So I've always seen abantu kasi. Clearly, I've seen ama-hotmane, ama-uncle. Few houses that would have fathers. Until uzusha ukhuthi yathi uyotshela ubabakhe, that's when you knew, oh, kwaba ukhuthi in a time, that's why it yabona. Yeah, no, uyotshela umalume wami, uyotshela ubhuti wami omdala. Then you're like, so it looked like a normal thing, mawukhula. No. Most houses kunabo gogo, kunabo auntie, aboma. So it just became something with, but why? Then more figure school, and some of them will tell you, no. The time alami, we were at Bola, Abanyai, the washing Tatulo, the time ala Kamategi, like thinking, even. So why. So I took quite a keen interest. Then I grew up in the church as well. So you'd see Amanyama family by figure, very old lady, timer, Ingo, see our Sunday school, very good time. Next week, new wins was Chelango, Babako, funny things about Ubab. And I was like, what kind of society do we live in? So at some point in time, all of them just became that person, old lady and we time interchangeably. So it depends what you're asking me. But we're speaking about the same person. Talk about Umtoktengelil, I'll tell you, no. Time alarm. Time alarm one, old lam. You irritate me. And you'll have a park. Even as a school in Kima Closure School in ngamfaka ngenhloko ngamjoti labana ba racist abasiboni ngifundela amandiya nama-colored. High school I went to William Hills, Bangixosha. I only did grade 8. Yeah, Bangixosha. No, look. No, I grew up, look, school etlale, Kuti knows abantu basetlale. You had ama-hotman laphana who become gangsters, others were gangsters, others abofancho, you had Vates Locos crew. So you had abantu be by male ground yabo, and to a certain point you had passed on the courses. So I think one was just conscious enough. There are things that you can't allow people to push you over. Probably I can say even today I'm that person. I don't just allow someone to just push me over. So it was more of it was more of you can't treat Kuti like this and treat me that way. Yeah, what? I didn't like textbooks Africans. Everyone was talking about Africans, so I stole Africans textbooks. It's a mix of things. Look, skating. You know how they dress, and then they had these color things, the art thing. Then I used to have dreadlocks. I was inspired by Achi Morocco or Moroka on Generation, Yes, necklace. So I used to wear that shit, So they were like, no, people must cut their dreads. I remember there was one lady, she had dreadlocks, just, on her palms. So they wanted to cut us. They said, if you don't cut your dreads, we'll cut them. And I was like, Ganjan.
So,
no, I had dreadlocks. I had dreadlocks as well. I was part of the people. Yeah, I was like, no, but if you are talking about culture and tradition, then your Indian girls are actually infringing on my cultural beliefs because of Intomazana il Togi Pruk. So me seeing her wearing trousers is an offense. Then I discussion by mix up his Zulu, then I would then speak in Zulu. And then my class teacher would come. She was Sutu. I think she was married to the then district director. And he's like, Bongani, why Sutu? Yeah, but if bangayazi language, why must be ngazi yam? Yeah, but
A lot of inequalities.
yeah. So I was just a rebel, rebelling against the system. Nothing too bad, you know. I think it's Angifunde in Kumbulu because my work class, I was like, no. Olam was like, no, let's go find another school, because she used to work in Tanswat before Lahlekelo Ispan. So I was like, no, but Joe, it's been a year or two, Lahlekelo Ispan, why must we force him to sit down? You can find this Kolong across a Yetlakula, it's a walking distance, but I couldn't get to Yetlakula.
Understood the situation.
Yeah. I'm fit. No. No, but I won't fit only Lazam, fit. You know, why should we be pressing? So I was like, no. So I went to Nkumbulo, I joined Amachita, you know. So I ended up smoking Zol because peer pressure. I lay way down. I think there was a guy coming from Brakpan, 2 guys were coming from Brakpan High. I was coming from Pinoni. One fellow was coming from Enatal. So no, we were being isolated. Yes, spiritual, cheese, amakeke. So people were like, no, this try like please. At some point in time, people would want to make quiet. I think about 50 cents, cigarette. Yeah, so at some point in time, you had to try and blend in. I was smart in class. No. Now I'm born of it. I was very smart. I was smart in class. So now, after class, in fact, always, I think it used to be an English class. And the best friend saw me and Sekiso would be like, and he was a very loud teacher. So you will bang the table and you nar. Like literally, you are so nar. Like, Bongani Luvalo, like, hey, man, I'm having food, this all. You know, so he was like, no, level it was about AP at West to see. Ni fanele Luvalo, ni bofuna, ni kubuyela generation. Ne izwe ni busy wona abantu bayenza what.
So rebellious parts into the scale.
No, I know my of it. Class in make no mistakes except for Africans. Then Nasenkumbulo I rebel against one class teacher ye biology. I think the Simbizu Chester. Begu Masego, Sibongo Saka. I'm not sure if he's still alive or retired. Let him learn a bill palang a cursive. And he used to say, I give you the bones, you give me the flesh. So which means he was writing a frame of notes. So you had to read your textbook and then engage. So that was his style of teaching. So now I understand cursive. Now I understand I turned biology, but I had to do it. So at some point in time I had to find me shy at that time I learned. At some point I was like, Brian, let's choose our battles. Do you want us to concentrate or you want us to concentrate the sun? So I rebelled. At some point I rebelled against Amachita Peminsango, Nabataba. So when I stopped smoking weed, I came into the LRC. At that time I was playing I was training in boxing, Etlamucha, Wopili, Soweto, So we became Ikhonga for the positive note.
So to change the whole
so patrol masintshola payments so principal unakumba sikusha siklisinsango
and again you see he's telling the story Sasekas. You see, and if you guys found out the story of private schools and whatnot, you would understand it's literally the same thing. It's just these ones are more privileged, so these things are always hidden. Sasekas is always told, and it always seems like it's something bad, but it's not bad. You want to do illegal stuff at school? Come on, you're here for learning.
So why would you pick me?
It's not going to kill you. Instead, it cures a whole lot of things.
I'm my sashis. I'm my sashis. So at some point in time, we had to close down the school. I'm a kid, we can't be disturbed by abantu abah decide ukufika late. Class ibell my car. No, mna nithi ku assembly abantu bayangena, nisema classini abantu bayangena. Like beku damthiri. And I was like, no, guys. Nkumbula comprehensive school, not secondary. Comprehensive school. So we had to be comprehensive, my man. So we thought Nakumba was the acting principal at that time. He didn't understand our approach. And we were like, you must decide. You want the school to be in order or not? Or we've been asked to, or you know. to a point where we forced ukuthi amaphoyisa eze kwenziwa ama-search and so on and so on. At some point in time, things stabilized in Kumbulo, you know. And then I think a couple of years after we left, they came principal Jabu. I just forgot it. I think now Use Kenneth. At some point, consecutive 3-4 years, Kumbulo became one of the top achievers in Kwatem, you know, because of he also came in and really, you know,
So just took on from what you guys had started,
yes,
and just
yeah,
carried it on
introducing
forward.
them blazer, nama tags. Usually you think abantu base boys high, you know, nase Veritas. I'm not sure abantu base Veritas bayenzani today, but you know, but basenkumbulo. So he started introducing those things, you know, best achiever biology, best achiever mathematics. Yes, then he's born it down. He brought them to a class, you know. So yeah, I just try to rebel against this. Even today, I rebel against the system. Even church itself, I rebel. If it doesn't make sense to my mind, then.
Church. Are
Yeah.
you a believer though?
I am. I studied theology. I've been in the press. Yeah.
So after Nkumbulo, so you get your matric.
I wanted to do law, actually.
What happened during that
I wanted
space?
to do law. I remember when I wrote my English paper for matric, being a stock fair Lekaya, and the agreement with my mother was that in you register ngayo. UJ. Ngangamba na uwe uzaza uphindi.
Yes,
I
I
couldn't
remember-
get space
I
because
think
I
I
didn't
remember.
apply the year before.
Yes.
So I was one of those pasile. Let me go to UJ. Yabona, if you were told, "Ayi baba, amajuda laphana ungayi." Everyone blacks UJ. Yabona. So I went to UJ. I couldn't get the space. I think I spent 6 months. 6 to 12 months in. No. There's no gap here. Gap in 6 months. No. Seriously, I went to Springs College. I did marketing. Did N5, N4, N5. I think later on I then finished off with N6, but I then left and did theology, unis. Finished it, and I was supposed to join the church. I'm like, yo, mfundis. I can't. And the Presbyterian church, they wear black and white, almost similar to the Methodist church. Yeah.
Okay.
And how to understand this, when Calvin is stupid. You've got two types of Presbyterians. Currently, some Panzela, but white jackets. They wear white jackets. I think they wear Zimnyama. Then you go to the one in Rapodile next to a Roma. They wear black jackets. Abu Mama, they wear white hats. And now, the church, one Uniting Presbyterian Church of Southern Africa. So, which means that we are one. But now, being one, these ones want to keep their black jacket. These ones want to keep their white coat. So, the egos of two black men and two black women is that they say to see superior than this. Like, guys, uniform, you are not going to do it. So, why waste this card? And that time, we were meeting in the region, which we call it Presbytery. Abelungu mfethu bazigcwele amachapha short bazibhemela, you know, they've got no time for this bangisana ngazo, you know, you can't address me ungagcoka jacket abelungu mfethu don't give a shit about the jacket. You can get to umfundisi omlungu ayenzile counseling ugcoka short pin namachapha actually azanibekele nama drinks laphana, wine, what. That's why you can find ama fundraising wabelungu including alcohol. Yeah. So I was like, but these people are fighting about petty things which are not going to grow the community. They're not going to grow the church itself.
So would you say you should politics were so?
No, I was scared. It's a discussion for another day.
Okay.
I left the church very scared. I was a drunkard for 2 years.
You after
Yeah.
whatever happened.
Yeah.
You see, when I told you guys the other day, people don't leave church necessarily. They don't leave God.
Yeah. Or
They
give
leave
church, I remember
churches in
when we were
the building itself because it becomes a toxic environment where now people try to find the egos and try to place themselves above the superior to the next. So you end up saying, you know what? Mhlambe lapha mangihleli lapha ekhoneni. Right, ngoba lapha kunaclass sonke siyalingana and we all understand how life operates and whatnot. So that's why I always say people don't leave God, they tend to leave church, as in the structure, the building. Yes. See, yeah. So as we carry on, sorry.
No, blacks were toxic generally, because even politics are the same.
Actually, everything. of ours.
Yeah, groove. Those are why I call groove. Some toxic element. Kuna bakota abanye, you know.
Because we've been actually discussing the whole issue of how it's become a sort of a cartel type of thing. Because these ones must rule over the rest of everyone so that you can then dictate who's going to get whatever funding or who's going to get whatever. And so on. So we move on from the church and your marketing. How does Cool Dads then come along?
Was it the first project you did? Because it was ning into Zenzile.
Yeah, that's why I think it did
Yes,
marketing.
I did my first event, which failed.
After
no.
studying and everything.
No, I tried to organize a beneficiary church. There used to be something called Thema, or Disabled People of Thema, DPKT.
Actually,
They used to be at Skashati. No, Elon, that thing, what's that thing? Next week, crash. Old age. They used to be old age. I think now, my office about Valley, they were saying Yakale or Rakale. They have a house there, Valley. I remember I tried to put up a beneficiary church concert. That was the first event I did. 2526. Joy flop. I remember. First flop. First
event.
Yeah. The cruelty only exists now. They call us in the cruelty.
I think we just no.
On a serious note.
But we need to face wherever there's money involved. Where there's money.
Yeah, human beings irrespective. Yeah.
It's a human. Then what is Kwala? I wish good our number feelings on But it just simply means you have whatever.
No, we organized the event in fact to, spoke to people, spoke to part sponsors. I remember we had Don Laga, we had Mam Faith Kekana, I think he's the brother to Banban Kekana. Steve Kekana, I had this lady of Tech Generation. They used to have a group called Palisa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think I remember that.
Yeah, there's a group called Palisa. This is low, Isangoma Generation, man, Latoya or something. Yeah, there used to have a group called Palisa. We had a jazz band called 440, and then we had one guy who used to play trumpet like Hugh Sikele. Bega manager ile khotmane bilfuna ma title did social media. On the chicken bar. Khadile. Yeah, he used to, I forgot the guy's name. He was a very brilliant trumpist player. I can't remember the entire. 2006. He was not even from here. He was from Washington. I think I'm told he had throat cancer or something. He passed on. So we organized this thing. I got SAP to give us alcohol. So we were supposed to. So we couldn't raise money for the sound. Yeah. Everything else was ready. Now we went to places promoting the event. Abukutwano, many other jazz.
So what was the event about? Where is the performer Equala or you?
No, it's a beneficiary jazz concert, raising funds for Equala, so that naming to commission yami la na batoli mali yabo bayenze lokho abafuna ukwenza. Yabona? So
and they saw Ruti Equala guys.
It's just able.
No, but
my yeah.
No, but no, for me, no, the people that I've interacted with are living with disability. They'll tell you, business. No. Actually, one close friend of mine, he's still written scholar.com because he used to call himself scholar.com. That guy is a brilliant entrepreneur. He does things that people are Highland, they can't do. And I mean, they can't do. How far he is in business, you then look at another chap and be like, you know. So you just need to feel free. Those who want to be offended, they'll be offended by their own. Those who are comfortable living with their disability, they'll tell you everything is kwala. Yeah, no, the people I worked with, DPKT, and some of the big organizations with disability. So now we didn't have money for a sound system. Yeah. And I remember the sound system beyenziwa uzwayi. Nobonyakala, I think I forgot what was the company. I'm not sure whether they were coming after. I can't remember whether we had a company that said if you can't pay us deposit us again, then I had to crevulu uzwayi. One crevulu uzwayi says no, but give me something small. The organization says, Tina, we're here to collect money, not to spend money. But we had alcohol. SAP had sponsored the event. Mochwala, we had drums of alcohol. But the event had to be closed. The hall had to be closed. So I says, Bongs, let's take a gamble. These people come in, we split the profits. These ones, they can go home. It becomes my event and your event. Let's do this thing. I was like, hey, Baba, in a contractual. And their board used to be sober people about Dr. Liketi. So we had all of these things covered of contracts and so. Baba, so that was my first event and it was the first failure. So literally that event had to be cancelled. Artists were on their way. I remember Pratola was asking, what the hell, bro? With Don Laga, yeah. So the event was cancelled like that. I remember we took Amapi and Abu Monzo. So I was like, room. 2 days later, I was stressed. I took a train in Saham, Shosholoza Mail. I went to Eastern Cape. I think I traveled in 48, Yama Reds. I think I'm obtaining this. I'm fit. So that was the first event I ever did.
Was that your first business?
Yeah, that was the first one. Then I formally registered a business in 2008. Everyone starts with catering. I don't even think I was sure do I really want to be a catering person, but I started with that. No, it was. I've only worked formal jobs 3 times, I think. First time I got to school and I worked for 3 months at airport. I worked for one hot man for about 2 months in Rivonia. And then I worked for the city of Ekurhuleni for 4 years. Those are the only 3 payslips I can account for. Outside of that, I've always been self-employed. With its own failures. But Basi 25 ngiyahola. Yeah, no clock.
So then after all of that failure and all of that, how then do you then decide, okay, where to now? What's the direction? After the catering company and
Catering company, I then merged it into project management, events management. 2011, 2011, I did one of the biggest projects. I think we had climate change in 2017, in COP17, Conference of Parties. It came to South Africa at Durban. Because I was in the church space, South African Council of Churches, we worked with the Norwegian Church Aid. They wanted us to coordinate young people. So we had young people who drove all the way from Kenya and they came to South Africa. So they stopped in different countries into Botswana. So I fetched them at the Botswana border, hosted them in South Africa. So we had a couple of activities leading to us going to Durban.
So what was it called?
Conference of Parties, COP17. Google COP17, you'll find. So usually government, but no carbon emissions, pollution, and then they lie to each other, and then they sign, then another one says, I'm going to donate. Yeah, they always gather these leaders, presidents, and then... Yeah, it's like, what can we trade off? No one takes that thing serious. That's why we've got sick weather today. You don't know whether we're going or coming. So that's why I'm saying they're just, lying pockets cap. They're here to close deals. So that was one of the biggest projects. So we had almost 3 months of, activities, talking to young people, workshops, activations, Abomakufe, Durban, July. And it culminated in us taking young people to in Durban. That was 2011. So after that, I was then identified, but Norman, we'll need a young person who can do projects for young people. I think you can come and join us, So at that time I was really in business, events management, doing catering, doing project management. So I was really, actually I think I was at the peak of business when they approached me, these guys, and I was like, yo, ish, what do we do? Then they advertised, I went and applied, I went for interviews, then I joined them. So I had to suspend some of my dealings, focused emsebenzini, but also I still had small projects here and there until 2016, I think, when there was regime change, because contracts, we were given a 5-year contract. My pay contract here with these new bosses and so on. It was a nice job, it was a nice experience, nice exposure. I think also I learned a lot of admin. My 2 bosses, I think the admin manager, the chief of staff, and also even my line manager. I think that's where I learned a bit more of how to do proper admin, I really enjoyed that time I spent there. Although towards the end it then became toxic. Because in government you've got a cootie who doesn't want to pay for electricity, but wants the lights to be kept on, then will threaten government. And like, but if you look, yes, why not bomb a power station lapana a 3? Because if you don't want to pay electricity, but full electricity. It's like people who want to have sex without a condom, but they don't want babies. Like, so that's the truth. Sorry.
And how do you go to fire not expecting to be burned?
Yes. So by the time I left there, I was like, I'm hurtful. I'm 5 years. I'm like, yeah, it's a very toxic space. You're dealing with blacks who don't want to do things right. Then I went back to business. So I started planning my exit. While I was there, life was becoming nice, On a pay slip, banks agreed to give you money, but I know you pay slip, it's not guy. So started having a match at North, even before then. But by the time in Spana, the guys were young professionals like yourselves, guys, Gruvelwa, we're changing cars, it's grand, gumnand, I started the foundation, I think, 2012 into 2013. Then, I think those parties are very May. Somewhere May, June, So earlier when I told you to my failures, I thought at 35, which is next year, I'll have 5 kids.
Yo.
But unfortunately, I've got 1, so I failed.
But you can still.
So you plan, but God decides, actually.
Yeah?
You plan, but God decides.
No, it's not possible. Not only God, it's just that for me, it can't be a random exercise.
See, we're going to get into that.
It's not a random
We're going to
exercise.
get into that issue.
Failed polygamist.
No, not failed. No, we're still in pursuit. No, still in pursuit. No, still in pursuit. No, we're still in pursuit. Still in pursuit. Yeah, no, we're still in pursuit. So 2012, 2013 started the foundation. I was like, I'm actually normal, let's just chill. So it was not even a foundation that time. It was more like, I'm a cool dad, let's chill, spend the day in English. So I was like, gents, English is in, man is busy, made his own kama visa. And then say, so you get a pollen or a clapping, whatever. And how much that they warmed up to it,
So is that how the cool dad started?
Yeah. Consciously, because of no one speaks about English unless English is seeker. And it was a trigger. Actually, most of the houses didn't have fathers. I didn't have a father. There were no fathers. My uncle, my hot money. So what then should be? So I then said, no, we can't continue like this. And everyone was like, yeah, no. I was like, one day, but when I was going to bring my younger brother. So Maraslanganeni, Siplomeni, are we cool? They said, yeah, no, we cool. I said, okay. So that's how it started. Literally, it was supposed to be a diplomacy, a park.
Or a park,
Yeah.
So sort of like dads and
their kids.
kids stay at school
Oh, yeah.
type of thing. Nobody dads and son camp or dads and daughters type of thing.
So how much
That
is
type
Can we
of
pause for 2 minutes? So I'm trying to just tell someone to take it. 2 minutes. 2.
No, sure. Pause.
An hour. Okay, let's just glide in.
Yeah.
Side
Yeah, so we put dads, we'll have to put dads. circulates the book.
And then so we can do
Then
10
after
minutes
the
on
book,
cool
you pick his
dads.
brain. Yeah.
We can do 10 minutes cool dads. We can do 15 here.
The book.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. You are recording, Jamal. Okay. We're going to be
Ngisese clear. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. No.
Cool dads.
Yeah. How cool dad started.
How cool that starts.
Yeah, so-
you can continue.
Yeah. So we started with that picnic, Saploma Namajita. I had to rent a child. And then Unsigelelo came as well. His daughter was a couple of months. So he's
that's Nsigele.
yeah. Then Nsige I came with. He's very attached to Cool Dads. him and Cool Dads have got serious bonds. So when we started Cool Dads, he was there with his daughter. So I didn't have a child then. So I think when we were chilling there, Amachita raised a lot of issues. There are guys who arrived and they were like, mina ulasho ngisivumelene ukuthi ngizomlanda umntana mara masengifika bathi umntana uvakashela ugogo eduduza so ngisengiyi-1 yabona,
Which is the reality of
many guys yabona. Abanye they'll be like Ncosi naye ngize nayo asiplomeni yabona. Enye ngizofika ta ngithe ngiyafika bathi ukhuthi nayo shiya Ncosi yakhe, ukhuthi boyfriend yemama olady, so I had to ngithatha Ncosi kakhuthi nale yami, so sila. Yeah, so we had it that day, and I think after that day we then realized we can't just do activities and say no, let's chill, play games. We had games there, Mrabaraba, Tiketo, jumping sack, with jumping castle. The sad part is that you only had about 40 guys, so give or take you had about 50 something kids that were ours, but kids were 142. Yeah.
no, because remember when kids start seeing jumping castles and other kids, to them it doesn't necessarily mean it's a kids event. Them it just means hey, some men so and you can't say to kids, only these ones can play and these ones can't play.
What was your mission? Cool dads.
Basically, let's encourage each other to be there. See absent. Amashita khuluma ngengcozi zabo, ingcosi mayigula or mela rush imedi meli vaye yena mela plomendlini and uzothi kimi agents ngisayo babysitter ngizonibona. And we're a social club, so we're meeting once a month. So Blom Kuti will host us. Swagale, we have a meeting, we make our contributions, then we eat and drink alcohol.
Contributing during a society.
Yeah, general society. Yeah. No. It was a social club, Mahongucha social club. It was a different club. But they became also the founding base of Cool Dads Foundation. Yeah. So we then so Jens will talk about those things. I can't stay. Na in Yugo. He played language because media via so many new babysitting us. That language is how babysitter. Yeah,
Babysit your kid.
So it started from that. So I was like, but it looks like Lento Laser sort of, and I think also I could see where I'm going and having to calculate. I want a big family, I want kids and so on. I'm like, how am I going to be, a father? How am I going to behave? What is it that I'm going to do? What is it that I'm not going to do? So I was worried, and I think I was mirroring on the guys, Engplomanabo and so on. So that's when we had the first picnic. After the first picnic, I was like, we can't just have the following picnic without Ukhuti akakwazanga ukubona ingcosi yakhe, uThulana akakwazanga ukubona ingcosi yakhe, azene ingcosi yakhe. My machita would call and say, you have been giving Ukuku Inyugu, but mangwele mbona ingcosi dololo. So that's when we then decided, no man, let's do a foundation. Foundation is still do the interactions. We then called it interactions. Yeah, what interactions, which means we're learning how to interact with our kids, because most of our machita were saying we don't know how to interact with our kids. Yeah, what? So we call it interactions, and which means we'll do picnics, we'll do camps, we'll do date out. So we'll encourage Amachita Fridays, landing Ngosi, a crash, whether you're born old lady or we are somewhere, or near Plomendlini or near McDonald's, whatever it is, or near Kwasbanbani Makoten, whatever that you can do. Because they don't need money, they just need your presence. Yeah. What? So we then said we'll do interactions, we'll teach each other how we're going to spend time with our kids. That's one part we're going to focus on. Part number 2 we must find a boy child. Must find a boy child who doesn't have a father figure, because of every day everyone talks about gender-based violence. Everyone talks about taking a girl child to work, but there's no one talking about a boy. Whilst the same boy is the one that obambinkunzi or rapayo or shayayo and any social ill that you can think of is attached to a young boy, a black male actually, whether young or old. Yeah? So I was like, Likochwal Semans, I think that's what they're saying in Zulu. I'm not sure my English. UJ Kangas when while it's wet. Yeah, but
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, let's focus.
so we then said, okay, we'll focus on a boy child. We'll find 50 boys, work with the schools, identify them from child-headed households, single parents, problematic boys esikolweni. So I think we worked with Kumbulo, of course, because Mbuya Corner, Spring Secondary School, Helixdal, Arla Park, Springs, Epikatin, what's that school?
Spring Secondary.
Spring Secondary. What else? Then we worked with Chance. Chance is the home, like Anota. Then I think the one LIPs, but they were not, really coming on board. So we're about 50 boys. We'll meet once a month. We'll have different thematic issues. One time I called them for a career expo, went to Wattville.
So you had no sponsors doing this thing?
The first picnic, Amachita said they were going to pop money. I think at that time my credit card, we 38 or 48,000. I maxed it because of how much that didn't come. So I had to buy banner, backdrop, I'm a t-shirts, I'm a hot dogs. Because of how much they're like, I think we're going to chip in. Last moment.
No, not to say, like, no, guys, for a cause that they want to partake in, guys will pitch in. I can vouch for that. For whatever.
First picnic you did it for me.
Yeah. I funded it myself. Maxed my credit card. No much that they came.
Okay.
How much that they came with their kids, the basket abo one when's cookout. Abo they came, abo Penny Klabo, they came,
Yeah, I remember. That was quite huge.
It was huge, we still have, I think, some videos on YouTube. It was quite huge. Over 40 guys that were there. It was very nice. Although I had to make my own credit, I could have bought, Louis Vuitton. I don't know if they must have card. The first picnic was in 2013, ne?
Really?
Yeah, first picnic was in 2013.
Yeah, but 2013, because we're a team. Yeah, but a team.
2013. We're almost towards 10 years. So I think when we celebrate 10 years, maybe we must gather 100,000. Yeah, when she's 10, then we're going to... what is FNP Stadium capacity?
It's 90.
90.
But you can push
I think we can hold 100,000 young fathers and their kids.
You can push it to 100.
In FNP.
Yeah, you can.
Fill up FNP.
Actually, no. That's the next target. What, we got a year or two, we can do it.
On record.
Yeah, no, sure. I love challenges. That's one thing I try. I love challenges, I thrive on them. Yeah?
On and off record,
On and off record. No, I thrive on challenges. I always push myself to the maximum.
Would with the Calabash allow for...
Don't think COVID.
No. I'm not even thinking COVID. I'm thinking of it, how it stands. Because now with kids always want space to move around.
No, we're not going to be there for long. Don't worry. We must all sit. Actually, Cook, we must search Guinness Book of Records. Guinness Book of Records. Actually, we'll do that. Can we do 100,000? If we can do 100,000 fathers and their kids, nothing else, and that puts us on Guinness Book of Record, we'll do it. If not, let's find something that's going to put us, That's why I'm saying I'm giving you the task to do it. That
On
challenge,
record.
we're going to take it up.
That's fine. I'll also just check it out because I'm thinking from the Calabash, you can use Nazarek as the place for playing and doing whatever. Because Nazarek, Renshaw, Tansha, because now kids can only sit for so long. Yeah,
we can even get there if it's that thing of Guinness Book of Record, and then we are there for an hour, then we go to Nazarek. It's fine. I'm saying good for 10 years of Cool Dance Foundation. Actually, I want something that's going to put us on Guinness Book of Record.
So you're turning 10 years?
FNP.
Next year?
It's next year. Next year, I think.
It's 2023.
It's 9. Yeah, mine is 8. So,
2023.
2023. It's doable. I can
So
do it.
When is
it's
the anniversary?
Somewhere, September, October. September, October. Yeah, we'll find it in the records. It's somewhere there.
Yeah, so it means there's a year and a couple of months.
Yeah, I will do it. I will do it.
Can we please podcast on that day?
No problem, Vitch.
Usho kanje? Cheers. Anyamazi plus ukuku sekayibonile yonke.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it like that. So then the third one was that we're gonna have what we call a toy and clothing bank. But unfortunately it collapsed. It was of Amachit, I don't know whether I pride or in. We used to ask Abantu to bring
donate toys.
impahla, toys, so that if you could have for
And it just helps. It helps.
You can come and collect some items, and of course not worn out things and so on.
Like proper stuff.
Look, but is cooler fast. Into 3 months ago, even now, into December, right now, my daughter's foot is so long, You've got shoes that I could give to Kuti, would still appreciate them because they're in good condition.
No, she will wear them like proudly, foot. You
But
understand?
they wouldn't appreciate that. I think Pride 8 or something was just like, So I was like, let's see Geleni and let's just rather go for school shoes. So we collapsed the toy and clothing bank for our school shoes, started donating school shoes. That's how I then decided to start a company that manufactures school shoes. Another day we'll talk about it. So then the other one was then we said we're going to do empowerment. So we do workshops. That's how we did the conversations.
I was actually about to come back. Frank conversations.
Frank conversations. Then we went to have a small law clinic. Amachitafune access to Sabo. So we started identifying lawyers that can assist, magistrates that can assist, and so on. So we said we'll empower men. Let's talk about finances. Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about anything that eats up a man. So it became a holistic approach in how do we develop a man.
A black man.
A black man. So that is the purpose of Cultures Foundation. Mobilize young men to be better, to be present fathers, to be active fathers in their own kids' lives. But most importantly, to be better black, contributors in society.
Because we need that.
I think it's a very fundamental part because I've known him for Kakokwam. It's literally the same street.
So you guys grew up together?
Not really. Like Kokwam, so being no guya. So my cousins, so fortunately they grew up with both the mother and the father. So it always was interesting to see that when there's something school event, the dad or the mother will attend. And for us black guys, I've played sport half my life. You'd find he's violent and my best friend, my late best friend, so fortunately his mom had a car. She would always come and fetch us. But we must find our way to wherever we're going. She would then offer to say, okay, I'll come and fetch you guys. Because obviously I can't be there all the time. Because I need to cook, So those are the issues I think I understand what cool dads are trying to make loud. Especially to guys. But at the end of the day, it leaves a gap in the boy child. This whole gap.
I can also relate.
Most of us guys can relate to that part. If you're not there, if you're not going to watch me give my best there, it leaves that whole thing. It doesn't mean you must give me 10 grand or give me just to go to even if it's not, but for the parent to be there, especially for the boy child, for his dad to be there, is one of the most critical things that I feel as black guys have failed in. That's why we find our community in the situation. Because Masakula, Tinama uncle, Nama Hrutman Nanan used to sit us down. So you felt that void, but not as bad as it is now.
I remember when we were shooting a men's conference episode, remember? You did say that.
But back then, they used to tell you, say, into nje man. You see, No,
What is
it doesn't.
bad?
What is
What is
bad?
bad?
What is bad? What is bad?
Don't fetch a Western culture. Don't fetch a Western culture. And what is it? You know, Magna in 14 days. That's Bislolan.
Yeah.
Besides the question, 14 days, 12 or 14 days. Yeah. First one was a question of busy. We're adults, guys. We're adults.
Yeah.
Siyasebenza, siyafunda. Do something, man. Join a titla. Teacups.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. A book club or something. If you don't have anything, do something so that you
I can tell you the difference right now between the 80s gang, 90s gang, 2000s gang. You will always tell. No. Hence, I'm saying the 80s. I love. We'll tell you 2000. But hence, I'm saying back then, fana na selection. Into zokuhlupa abantu bebangahluphi. Oqala bekunama-comrade.
Yeah. Wahlupa sekushaya.
Mawuhlupa. Actually, I kid you not. Back then, guys used to know. Into zokuthi umuntu uzothatha umntana abantu ngenkani ngegroovini or kuphi. Like it's stuff that we hear of now.
There were guys who would actually do that.
But bebazolandwa. For instance,
That's 90s.
80s.
For instance, I can tell you now, etlale bonke uzugcekeze and get away with it. Bonke uzoshaya intombazana and get away with it. If you can do it, you must know, rest assured, 3 days ankiziphele uzotholwa, uzotratshwa, and then uzovalelwa. You will not. And I think it's one of the things that we are missing as a black community. This is probably just off-ramping lapana tonkinitha kancane.
Yeah.
One of the bad things about the black community is that we have surrendered our well-being.
Yeah.
We're hoping that somebody will parent our kids, somebody will guard our streets and our homes, somebody will take care of, the lights, somebody will take care of the cleanliness of the streets. We have literally neglected things and said somebody else will take it. Government will do it.
And back then it was a community.
It was a community thing. A Highland, I'm saying, Klale was the safest street you could ever find. Amahotmane ebewala panaglesa strati would not. Ungafika uthi uzochinja ukuku will find you and they're going to beat you up. Rape. Ungacela start TV bazokuthola if bathole wena before iTV uzosibikisa la uthengise khona izobuya iTV uzotratshwa eklale and then from there amaphoyisa azokulanda uhambe. Klale was one of the safest street, especially Highland 1. Klale 1, which was from Eshabango Street, but also the one Klale 2, they also joined in because of abantu bakhona bebano because of closer to Ikidol, but they end up joining. So if you can check now at town. At town, we've got community watch where all of us are volunteering.
CPF.
Now I'm going against what I said earlier on in Kali Highland. So we've got patrolling times. As much as senior subs, those who can patrol must donate Mali petrol, Amalite.
So it becomes a community.
It's a community thing that guards. But also it empowers a security company owner. Yeah. So those of us who can afford, who don't have time to be guarding and so on, we all contribute money. The security company is going to deploy abantu abazo watch around. So if you can look at the crime stats, must be high kuphi. Emlazi, but not Emhlanga. Not a Palito, but probably Phoenix, angazi ngamalo. Probably Alex, not in Sentin.
Yes.
In Sentin is more of your commercial areas, Sentin City and so on. But as last is Kate City. So we have neglected parenting our kids, we have neglected protecting our own communities, guarding assets, tennis court, soccer stadiums. Tennis court lapana kabusha ichachiwe. Food, we had to go and donate money, sifaki fence kabusha. What shit is that? And no, they take care of their own shit. They take care of each other. That was off-ramping from. So I'm saying we need to fix ourselves, and it will only take us for us to have a better society. Let's come back to N17. Siap, Delma Sochos.
No, we I join N17. So we've done with. Now, yes.
Kuku loves this book.
I'm going back to.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with loving it.
You love it.
Now,
There's nothing wrong with loving it.
The inspiration behind this.
A father.
A stranger.
A stranger.
Okay, qala. Mina ngithanda ukuthi ngoba le into yaselokishini. Yini my memoirs in simple text.
Memos is personal stories.
Okay.
It's my story.
Different individuals.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it was a memo, it would have been my story.
Your
So it's
story.
memos because of C10.
Okay.
So the book has
currently in
got,
this book, there's 10 memos.
there's 10 contributors. So there's 10 memos, there's 10 chapters. So people wrote their own personal stories. I was lazy to write a book.
Please name one of the few people who wrote their story.
Ntsikelelo Mzibomvu, who's here, he's been attached to Cool Dad since he was born, and his daughter was born. No, your daughter was born. The foundation was born. Your daughter was born. You are attached to it, you know. So when you broke your virginity of being a father, you were a cool dad.
Cool dad. Yeah.
He came with his daughter a couple of months. Like he wouldn't even know how to hold. You must find that video actually. And and I didn't even know how to hold a baby myself. I was like, hey, lezo pula lengos. We got Ntsikelelo there, you've got myself, you've got David Mayimela, you've got a guy like him called Sizwe Fortune Zuma. He's a movie, drama, a script writer, he's an actor as well.
Okay.
I think he wrote the second movie, Akakahiso Mudubi. I'm not sure it's Utando or something, or Tando.
Or
No, not the first one. Losing Loretta is the first one. The second one. You've got the former president Jacob Zuma.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. You've got the forward by Upra Mike Teke, millionaire from Kwatema, mining magnate. You've got Tulufelo Kopedi, is a close friend of mine, former boss of mine, but friend of mine as well. You've got Stelo Zwane, he's from Tsakani, he stays somewhere in Val, somewhere, Maplazini.
Your face.
Wow. You've got Umtobisi, Wellington. He's a friend of mine, originally from Zimbabwe. He doesn't have a child. But umfundisi, and he's a father to abo gogo, nabo mkhulu, nabo auntie, nabo mama. Being 36 and being called Baba, you can imagine that shit, you know. And then who else is there? I've counted how many people. Then you've got Tebucho Tlap, he's called from Western area.
Yeah.
You know the guys there.
Personal stories.
Look, it's personal stories. Or basically, the book is when we invited fathers to come and contribute into the book, we asked them 3 questions: who is your father? Was he there or not? How did his absence or presence affect you? And his absence and presence, how does it inform you fathering your child today? In the absence of Mtobisi, who doesn't have a child, I don't know when is he going to have a child, but I know one day he might. He even has a letter to his future daughter.
Wow.
So those are the 3 critical questions that everyone really writes from it's personal stories, and I think it was a moment and an opportunity for all of us to really reach into our feminine side, our emotions, go to those dark stories and those light stories, things that you thought you have gotten over off, but you didn't really. Childhood traumas. So people, as they wrote, others would call and say, I don't think I want to continue to do this thing. If you see Londa, it did the same to me as well.
So are you saying nomuntu ozoyifunda izomthunuka kancane because it's relatable?
Look, everyone is going to find themselves. I think let me just talk to the title of the book.
Yeah.
Amnanda manzi yazi bafethu nibo waphuza.
No.
Drink water and stay in your lane.
I think for me, I understood it because I was unkhona ukuzimncwaba time lakho, but we were all together afterwards.
Oh yes.
Yes. Because when you related the story,
I had 2 fathers, by the way. I had 2
So
fathers.
now it becomes a
so I've
story.
lost 2 fathers.
The father who
Yeah.
raised you and your biological father.
Yeah. The sperm donor and the father. Yes.
you see, that's why I need to. And it becomes that because
No, but look. You know, one thing that, you know, part of which is, and I think many people as Kuti is reflecting on this, I think when my biological father passed on, I think also it's when I was intensely trying to conclude this project, because this project has been existing since 2017. Okay. We've been trying to put this book together since 2017. And when I was really committed in concluding this and be like, whether C5 or C10 or 50, because when we started, we had 50 guys who had subscribed to write chapters. So probably we could have had some Zondo commission kind of a report, volume 1, volume 2 about fathers, So by the time I was committed in concluding this thing, my biological father passes on. Actually, my stepdad, which is my father, passed on starting of COVID, 2020? 2020 in July. I think we buried him on the 25th of July. And then my sperm donor passed on just 26th of February. And I was due to go and have a formal interview with the former president. Because when he started, he was going to write the chapter, but unfortunately his chapter now becomes an interview kind of a framework. So I ask him questions, he then responds. So we've transcribed with the help of Unsigele. We worked on this. He was writing
So you
notes.
guys wrote the book.
We wrote the chapter. We transcribed with the conversation. So it's like somebody writing our conversation here now, and so that's what we did. We transcribed the conversation Baba and the questions I was asking into the chapter. So when I was going for that interview, it was a pre-planned day. On this day, I'm going to the former president's house, but unfortunately, or fortunately,
Not to his house in Nkandla.
yeah,
You've been there.
a number of times. So my sperm donor then passes on. So on my way to go and bury him, on Thursday I was due to meet the old man, the former statesman. So we had to start there, then go and bury. Yes. And we then had to go and bury. And I think some of the things I wrote on Facebook, many people thought my book is about my sperm donor.
Okay.
Sorry, who had just passed on. And this book is more of my journey with my own daughter. My chapter, it's more of me being a father to my daughter. Actually, my chapter is written, what is my chapter's title? Learning to do it, I think. Learning, no. Learning, what is it? That's
Have you read it already?
Yeah, learning to do it, a journey to fatherhood.
Have you read it already?
Yeah, it's called.
It seems like you've read it
I
already.
haven't read the book, guys.
No, it seems like you have.
No, it's
No,
okay.
Okay, but in any
I
case-
read, like the title for me, a father is stranger, it just triggered a lot of things.
Why
So
this
I had
title there? A father is stranger.
Because that's what they are to most guys.
Look,
They become strangers.
while you read this, you must be able to identify yourself as what is your relationship with your father. Is your father a stranger, somebody you don't know of, you have heard about, or it was a touch and go, or your father has really been a father who's been there since day one until he died or until today. And there are people who yesterday were doing the book reveal for the media, and some of the guys were contributing this. One of the contributors came with his father, so that thing must then tell you that for him, his father has been present. This is a man. So you've got men here who grew up in a nucleus family, ubaba, umama, they're traditional, abanye, they're Christians. There's somebody else who writes from a Christian point of view. I think there's a
So
title.
different backgrounds.
Somebody's title is named or titled Fatherhood, a title shared with God. Another one's title is being the best father to Theoko. So he's trying to be the best father to his own son. Somebody else says, I'm culturally displaced, but I'm a father. So you've got a number of people who are addressing issues from a cultural point of view, from a religious point of view. So we're trying to try to have a variety of people. Ubaba is a polygamist. He comes from a polygamous family. And so you're going to find views in that fashion.
Yeah.
Which
I know.
is quite interesting.
So in what it's all
Ingwad is only going to be launched on the 19th of June, on Father's Day. Okay. You'll find us at Carnival City. I'm not sure if your podcast will be out yet.
We'll be pushing
so
for
on
it
the
to be-
19th,
pushing
on
for
the
it to be
19th of
out.
June, you come to Carnival City at
Tell
the
people to
Rio
RSVP.
Banquet Hall. RSVP. We can even go to the parking lot. If Spanning will go to the parking lot.
Right.
You buy the book for 350 rands. It gets you the book and it gets you a seat. And we launch the book and we discuss the book.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna take it very take a lot as time goes.
It's take a lot. It's exclusive books.
Any
We're
online?
also going to. We're going to have. I think it's Amazon. If I'm
Amazon
not
book,
mistaken,
yeah.
Amazon. I think later on we'll do ebooks. That one have voice. Nibiza ntsikelelo. The voice book. Nibiza
Audio what?
audio book. Ultimately, I think we'll do audio book. Take a lot.
basically
exclusive
all the
books,
channels that-
all the channels. I think as we start, we'll start. Also, we're going to be people. I think I would want to encourage people to directly order it from the foundation, and we courier it to you. One day we'll talk about the politics of publishing, because of
Yeah,
these stores, they take a lot of money
to discuss.
So,
actually.
so I would encourage people more to look at buying the book from us. I think on our website we're finalizing the link for them to buy the book from us. We deliver it to your house. But those who can't, then they can go to these books. Into this.
Please share the link. This will be say ready before we drop. 'Cause we
Probably.
drop probably next week Friday.
No, you'd have it. You'd have it.
Yeah,
Sure.
This is a fucking link to description.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, I asked there's something because I know you are a smart man, and there's a lot of things going on, like a country needs. Ne? And I just wanted to pick your brain. Sure. I wanted you to tell me about the future of this country. What comes to mind?
Here's an official country.
Uyibona phi future le country.
Look, I think it's all dependent on us, Bob.
Okay.
It's all dependent on us. And as I said earlier on, all of us are relaxed. We're hoping that Cyril is going to work some miraculous thing and is failing from electricity. He's failing to boost the economy. And everyone is just sitting and thinking, the president is a new dawn.
heaven.
Is going to work some magic like Jesus
No,
Christ
but it's
or
Georgie
from
Mali,
manna, from heaven. Look,
The whole trail though. Gotta still some things.
Yeah, what's a mamili?
no, guys, honestly speaking, I think for me, worst days are coming in South Africa.
Do you think
I
we're
think
gonna be Zimbabwe?
look,
Worst days. No, we'll not get to, we're too woke, but too lazy. Woke and lazy. So the day we drop the laziness and decide to be actively involved, look, the country is being privatized. As I'm saying to you, right now, white people are running a parallel state. Private security. I think the other day Discovery launched a fire brigade.
yeah.
You've got private schools. All of us want our kids to be in Brakpan, Lapanangas, Carnival City. I'm not going to say their name. Don't promote them. Don't promote them.
Doesn't matter.
You know?
Yeah, actually, most medical aids are running, medical aids, insurance companies, they're all running whatever they're running on their own.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Another thing, fourth industrial revolution.
Really?
Oh yes.
we're far from that.
Yeah.
Far from that.
Very far
It's only
from
the
that.
McDonald's. and Want to send 10 alarm.
Baba. Do you know how far we are from that? If a kid in China, fourth grade kid in China, knows how to program,
That's what I was saying.
So you could be saying fourth industrial revolution.
we are far from that. We need to fix a whole lot of things before we can even think about that.
Our own school don't even have robotics. No.
Oh, it's robotics as a subject.
No, but also those things are there. Upanyaza came with chocolate chocolateless or
Interactive boards.
Yeah.
Which I know.
sonke siyavuka sitshontsha amakhompyutha exakula sitshontsha amakhompyutha eceda
I know of a
usizi
school at Jamestown called Colin Man.
wa
They
distracting.
used that thing in 2022. Colin Man used, no, it's a government school, Lambton. Colin Man used that. My sister used to teach in that school. Interactive board, but now the SGP decided we're going that route.
Yeah.
Oh, now I
You see? No, but I'm just saying, actually now they're seeing the world is moving to this direction. So, Lente show Luvalo, fine, I come up with a plan. It's okay, we're going to do interactive boards. When our kids carry tablets to school, they don't have to carry heavy textbooks and all of that thing. Guess what you guys do? Babambi nkunzi, manga babambi nkunzi, niyaqhekeza ezikolweni. And then how do we then move forward?
And lastly, education system.
What about it?
What do you think of it? Our education system.
Even the president doesn't agree. Even the former president doesn't.
So I say means.
No, but earlier on I made a very silly joke.
Yeah.
Papa and Base Veritas.
Oh, okay.
Guys, no.
Yeah,
Look,
no,
Mamelad, no. Let's check the stats. How many people graduated in the past 3 years on electrical engineering or some type of engineering? But there are people.
Only 4% of students who start grade 1.
So it must tell you, we're still having mom eng there, like people telling you 30%.
My number.
The people who are producing can't solve problems.
If I had to pass matric, 50%. That was the pass mark. 50%.
It was 40.
Which time? Well, you are 2000.
Guys, it was 50%.
Currently.
Dropped to 30.
Now,
No, pass rate is 30%.
Dropped to 30.
Tina was 50.
pass rate is 30%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, guys.
Guys, 50%.
No, man,
But
sisters in Gen, like literally, if I can call it in a
Ufile.
very natural way, South Africa sisters in Gen. Actually, the black community sisters in Gen.
We are in the top.
And the people who are in power, let me tell you something. And I used to say this about the former president. I'm going to say it about the current president. If war was to start, in July, the people were looting and so on.
Yeah.
People like the former president and the current president and many other politicians, magliwa kuti. Ne? They used to say, Gune banka enkandla. I'm not sure. I even asked Mangfika Lapan. The president will get into the banker and be safe. Ne? The current president, the premier, the mayor, they can be secured. If war was to start, and I'm saying to you, we're going to arrive at a time where people don't kill each other. But
we headed to that direction.
no, we're going there. And the people who are going to be safe are the politicians we are allowing to play shit with our lives. Why are politicians' kids not going to the black schools or township schools that we're having? Why are they not going to Pulusong? Why are they not going to... Because of... Why are they in gated communities?
No,
They are fucking up our own communities and creating a very lavish life, whether they stay in Selcourt or they stay in Eldevik or in Ebutsi or in Sentin, because of they've got no keen interest about our lives. And Tina, all of us are just like, hanking voting, zohlala. Until when? If you don't vote, whether they...
Voting, like, make a difference.
You must vote. After voting, you must attend a meeting. After attend a meeting, you must tell them what you want. Joe, have you gone to a kid? Oh, sorry. Anyone who are parents here?
Yeah.
You go to a are you a parent, Kuti? Oh, sorry, you never say anything. I'm going to promote it was lamb and donkey bow and so on. Sorry.
She turns one.
Even when you write if you were to buy my book tomorrow, I wouldn't have written a message about you being a father, my friend. Start being loud. So I'm saying, Guti, you go to, when I attend parents' meeting, except for SGP, when I attend parents' meeting, we take seriousness when our kids are in town. But for a parents' meeting, we don't want to go there. Yeah. So how then do you expect us to be taken serious when we don't take ourselves serious? Yeah. So until we take ourselves serious, we're community. Nasa sonto and attend our meeting, some people keep it tight. You don't even know where the money is going.
Yeah, guys.
So it's
I'm sorry,
it's a bad trait.
In closing, what would you want to say today? Since you are passionate about the young boy child.
I'm not passionate about a black boy child. I'm passionate about my daughter and all the girl children. I love boys. But on a very serious note, I think as men, as brothers, Kuti, Tulani, we need to be present. Not only for our kids, for younger brothers, for our peers. We need to start telling each other the truth. I must be able to tell you kuti when Zamasimba. When Autiako doesn't wake up to go to work, Tulanamanga is spanning Monday, there's Puza Songe Chila, Sister Giwe, Plash, then you consistently are not going to work, you're going to be disadvantaging your family. I must be able to tell you, it's a fuck up. So we need to be each other's keeper, so we must be your brother's keeper. For us to build a better society, we need to be accountable to each other. In the absence of that, then we're going to be more fucked and more fucked. Somalians are here, they're taking over. We've got nephews and nieces, because of we've allowed people to occupy our society. I don't care. People don't talk about xenophobia. Fuck that shit. We have allowed Somalians, Pakistanians to occupy our streets, and we're going to have mixed breeds that we don't even know. And it's only us who can take up responsibility. I've been to Palestine, I've been to Israel. Those guys, they tell you, you don't look at a woman unless you're going to marry her. And it's lust. They tell you, you are lusting on her and you must be beaten because of kuzongcolisa umphakathi. I-rape iqala kanjalo, uqala ngokumbheka, then uyamkhalela bese uyamrape. So that's what they're going to tell you, and they're going to beat you up. So if me and Kuti can't beat you up for the nonsense that you are doing, then it means we are failures as black men in our society. So I'm saying the guys who are occupying these containers and so on, we have a responsibility to chuck them out, because of not only are they bringing Hong Kong food and so on, but they are also polluting our bloodline.
Oh yeah, true.
And much more else.
True, guys.
Ofuna ukungilanda uzongithola number 1 ehlale esaloon angensabi.
Is you don't look at me unless you want to marry me.
So that's all you took out of this. That's all you took out of
Do
this.
not look at me.
Ngabe uyazi ukuthi ama-fans wethu akuthanda kanjani.
That's all you took out of this. That's all you took out of this.
Unless you want to marry me.
All right, guys. Mfowethu Bongani
Baba.
Luvalo. Ngicela ukubonga mfowethu ukusinika opportunity ukuthi sihlale nawe namhlanje. Nje sithi ukucoca kancane sithi ukwakhana, yabo.
Hopefully nizongibiza futhi ningadini.
No. This is
You're part of the family.
Inbox him. Any topic.
Yeah, okay.
because
You're part of us.
Ntsikelelo, shout out to you for coming as well, though you were very silent.
Yeah.
So he's also a writer as well. So he's
Serious
also got
artist, serious
a book
artist.
and an author. Also, he's an author. No, he's also into arts as well. So
No, shout out.
Yeah.
Doing nice jobs. Niyaspana man, niyas-inspire, yabo. That's why nathi senza le nto esiyenzayo. It's because we are inspired. Yeah. Ukuti Vele has been looking forward to this one. I know Nukuku's been looking forward to this one. And we're still gonna have more nice ones. Nginitshelile ngathi siyayikhulisa le family siyobabaningi. We're taking this to the world. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Chillers for sponsoring us. Please subscribe to the channel, share, comment, nenze konke kumele nikwenze ukuze nisithuthukise nathi sizokwazi ukunithuthukisa sinilethele i-information emjojo. Yeah, ejuice. Nibonile nani namhlanje besizicocela kamnandi. Ukuze enjoyile ne?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
well, she didn't say anything today. She was just quiet.
Guys,
She was just quiet today.
what about me?
Yeah, true.
Well, but we didn't just talk about the book, did we?
All right, guys.
Yeah, but
Siyabonga ngoba bazolwa isikhathi esithi Kuku noKhuthi balwa njengama siblings. Niyazi angeke bayivale yonke iminyango. Sharp.
Tweety.
One hour tape. Yeah, no, izoba njalo. I'm gonna print Vele.